The fish never touches a predator. There are no teeth, no claws, no physical contact at all. One moment, it's swimming through the dark waters of the Amazon, and the next, every muscle in its body locks up at once. Its fins stop moving. Its escape is over before it even understands what happened. Somewhere nearby, a long shadow twists through the murky water. Then comes another burst. Hundreds of volts surge through the fish's nervous system, hijacking its muscles and forcing its body into complete paralysis. The attacker isn't a machine. It isn't a weapon built by humans. It's a fish, a living animal capable of generating enough electricity to stun prey, defend itself, and navigate a world where sight is almost useless. This living animal is the electric eel. What makes these animals so strange is how completely their lives revolve around the electric shocks. They hunt with it. They communicate with it. They can effectively see using electric fields. They breathe air instead of relying primarily on gills. They build floating nests out of saliva. For centuries, scientists thought there was only one species of electric eel. Even that turned out to be wrong. Because the deeper we look at these animals, the more they seem less like ordinary fish and more like one of evolution's most bizarre experiments. The name electric eel is itself misleading. This creature is actually a type of knife fish and a close relative of catfish. Its uniqueness is so extreme that it belongs to its own genus, Electrophorus. For almost 250 years, scientists thought there was just one species, Electrophorus electricus. This eel, with its shocking power to generate electricity, seemed like the only one of its kind. But then in 2019, everything changed. C. David de Santana and a group of researchers made a shocking discovery using DNA analysis. They found out there are not one, but three distinct species of electric eels: Electrophorus electricus, Electrophorus voltae, and Electrophorus varii. The electricus lives in the Guiana Shield, the voltae hides in the Brazilian Shield, and the varii swims through the lowland Amazon basin. While they all share a similar snake-like body, the voltae stands out with its slightly egg-shaped head. So why are they called electric? Well, the Electrophorus electricus produces around 480 volts, and possibly even up to 500 volts. On the other hand, the Electricus varii can deliver up to 572 volts. Then there's the Electrophorus voltae. This one generates a jaw-dropping 860 volts. That makes it the most powerful bioelectric generator in all of nature. Despite this, they face challenges, such as encountering a large, struggling fish that refuses to surrender to their shocking power. In such a situation, it has an extraordinary trick up its sleeve. The electric eel curls its body into a horseshoe shape, wrapping itself tightly around the prey. The curling creates a remarkable mechanism that amplifies the intensity of its electric shocks. But here's how it works. The eel's body functions like a living battery, containing thousands of tiny cells known as electrocytes. These cells store electric energy, with the positive end positioned near the eel's head and the negative end at its tail. When the eel curls around its prey, it traps it between its head and tail. This brings the two poles of its body closer together. The electric field becomes stronger, doubling in intensity. As a result, the powerful shock stuns the prey, leaving it helpless. This clever move serves a purpose. First, the concentrated electric shock causes the victim's muscles to freeze up completely. The prey's motor neurons are overloaded, causing intense, rapid muscle fatigue, almost like being paralyzed. Second, this immobilizes the prey long enough for the eel to adjust its grip or line up its meal perfectly. Biologist Kenneth Cantania, who first documented this behavior, found that younger eels often use this technique on smaller prey, while larger eels rely on it for bigger targets. Another fact that doesn't sound normal is their ability to see without actually seeing. Let me explain. Electric eels live in the dark, muddy waters, where their eyesight is almost useless. So how do they see in such conditions? Instead of relying on their poor vision, they use electricity as a built-in radar system to find their way around, avoid obstacles, and locate prey. This makes them masters of survival in their shadowy world. They emit gentle electric pulses, typically less than 10 volts, to create a detailed map of their surroundings. When these pulses encounter objects such as rocks, fish, or plants, the eel detects subtle changes in the electric field using specialized receptors embedded in their skin. It's almost like possessing a sixth sense, allowing them to see and navigate effortlessly in the pitch-black waters where even light cannot penetrate. Regarding breathing, these creatures do have small gills on the sides of their head, but guess what? Electric eels are not like other fish that rely on gills to breathe underwater. Instead, they get most of their oxygen by gulping air at the surface. This bizarre method means they are obligate air breathers, depending on the surface for about 80% of their oxygen. They rise every 10 minutes or sometimes every 2 minutes to take a breath. But why do they do this? Well, these creatures use their mouths like lungs. The lining of their mouths is covered with special folds full of tiny blood vessels. When they gulp air, they hold it in their mouths, allowing the oxygen to pass directly into their bloodstream. Once they've absorbed as much as they need, they release the old air as bubbles through their gills. But this system comes with a risk. If these eels are blocked from reaching the surface, they will drown. It's a life or death cycle that's as unique as the electric pulses. But during the dry season, male eels do something that breaks all the rules of what we consider ordinary. Instead of using sticks, leaves, or even mud to create a safe place for their young, male electric eels use their own saliva. With their highly vascularized mouths, they churn out a thick, sticky froth of bubbles and build a floating nest that can hold up to 17,000 eggs. Yes, you heard that right. A whole castle built entirely out of spit, floating on the water as if it belongs there. Once the female lays her eggs in this strange foamy nursery, the male takes on the role of a fierce yet caring guardian. The high-voltage babysitter stays close, making sure no predators dare come near. And then there are the baby eels. When they hatch from this strange floating nest, their first moments of life take a dark turn. These tiny creatures begin their lives by feeding on unhatched eggs and smaller eels in the nest. It's a survival of the fittest scenario right from the very start. Moving further, we have electric eel's strange anatomy. You'll be shocked to know that the anus of this creature is located right under its chin, just behind the gills. This odd placement means the waste exits just a few inches from its mouth. But why is it designed this way? The answer lies in how evolution has shaped this creature into one of nature's most bizarre wonders. These species reserve up to 80% of their body for their specialized electrical organs. This leaves only 20% of their body to house essential organs like the stomach, liver, and heart. To make room, all vital functions are pushed into a small space near the head. This also explains why an eel's eating, breathing, and waste disposal are crammed into the same tiny area. So it won't be wrong to say that for the electric eel, being extraordinary means breaking all the rules of what's normal. So which of these electric eel facts excites you the most? Also, do you have other creatures you believe have qualities and characters that are beyond normal? Feel free to share that in the comments. Now leave a like if you've enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe to help support our channel. Goodbye for now.